Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today we are not live, but we are doing an unboxing. This isn't a review, this is the unboxing of the Sidewinder X4 Plus. But before we get started, roll those credits. Okay, so normally we do these live, but this is a pre-release version. We want to get this video out to you guys as quick as humanly possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this on this video. This would normally be a live stream, but it isn't. So we'll be releasing this on the day this launches, which should be February 20th, if my NDA is anything to go by. So we have some different cameras set up and things like that. So just bear with us whilst we try to get this all right for you. The Sidewinder Artillery X4 Plus. So this is the newest flavour from Artillery. It is a CR10 sized machine, or the same size as the X1 and the X2. It is the... I should really have it open, shouldn't I? It's going to be a little bit of editing in this, but it shouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I'll wait until I start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Go!
I've not even got it on the website yet. Okay, so it is a 300 by 300 by 400 machine, with the caveat that this is now a machine with clipper on it. So there is the X4 Pro is already out and already relatively successful. It's a nice little machine. That's ender sized. This one is the big boy. So without further ado, let's get this open. So can we switch to wrong one? Huzzah! So, you guys get to see what the inside of this box looks like. So, the Artillery Sidewinder, we were a real fanboy of Artillery for a while. We had two X1s and we had an X2. Machines that we bought with our own hard-earned pesos. And I'll be honest, they were our workhorses for a good couple of years. Like, it was not... They were fantastic machines, really good quality, like really quite impressive machines for the price that you got them for. They had direct drive, not everything at the time did. So we've got a very, very similar screen to the Elegoo one. We've got mock carbon fibre effect rods. These are hollow, so these are the brace rods for the rear kit. So, what have we got in the pack? We have the world's smallest batch of PLA. We have a tiny little spatula. We have pair of blue clippers. We've got a nozzle unclogger, some Allen keys. We've got a USB stick, a nozzle that looks slightly proprietary. So let me just switch to the close-up camera and see if I can show you this. So let's get this out of the pack, because I want you to see what this... It is a volcano nozzle, but I think you can see... If I bring it in nice and close and then I get this camera to refocus, Nope, okay, I will refocus it then. Here, oh. There we go. Right, so you can actually see that it looks like, at first glance, I thought it was a CHT nozzle, but it isn't because it's not got the splitter in the back. It is a volcano, but you can see that the tip is much, much thinner than normal. So you won't get a normal hex wrench on that. So that's interesting. That's an interesting choice. So before, artilleries have always had, they have always had volcano nozzles on, but we've got our wrench and our Allen keys there. We have half a dozen packets of screws, a glue stick that I really hope we won't have to use. We have the user manual, which I think we all know I'm not going to use. So the sidewinder artillery, Yeah, this is the levelling paper. They give you 2 pieces of levelling paper, which is nice, I suppose. Okay, so we've got the spool holder. Locks together in there. Nice and secure. That'll go on the end. Let's crack on getting this out of the box. So pull this out. We've got the A-frame here. Oh, no. Tool head is already attached, as you can see. So let's just pop this here for a second so you can see this. So this here is the artillery tool head. I think it is probably locked in place at the moment, so we'll figure that out in a moment. This belt is very, very loose, so I'm hoping there's a way to tension that when we get this together. But let's pop this out of the way for the moment. So we haven't been given pricing on this yet. UK power adapter though, so that's always nice. Don't see many of those at the moment. We haven't been given pricing on this yet, so we don't know what this is going to be at. If I take a quick look at the, so let's go to printers. Okay, so the X3 Pro, which is the one they came out with just before Christmas, is $199. The X4 Pro, which has just been released, is $299. So with the X3 Plus being $279, I think you could probably expect the X4 Plus to be coming out at around $379. So that would be my guess for where the pricing is going to be. But let's get this out of the box. Oh, there's a little drawer. Sloop. Let's get this out of the box. And let's see if we can't. Is everything else out of there? Everything else is out. Yes. Okay. Let's move the box out of the way. Cool. So, first look. So, we've got a spring steel sheet. This is textured on both sides. There are locator holes in the back here. Goes onto the bed. And then nice and secure. There's a little brush, a little silicone brush piece at the back. I'm assuming that's to do nozzle wipes. What is interesting is there's no way to get that off and there's no spare ones. So I don't know what you do when that sort of starts to wear out, but we've got a braided cable in the back. All right, let's get the A-frame on, shall we? I'm going to take this drawer out, because I can tell that's already going to annoy me at the moment. So, this goes over here. Ah, yeah, I can see. Right. Hold on, I just want to clip this here. Just like that. And then clip this here, just like that. There we go, tool head moves nice and freely now. Good, 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 good. Right, let's just move these. Belts are synchronized. You can tighten this belt from, you can tighten the Y belt from the front. Oh, and you can tighten the X belt from the side here. There's a tension screw there, so that's going to work. Okay, cool. Right. That's for the sensors. Okay. Come on, find the hole. There we go. So already anybody watching this is probably going to realise that what we're looking at here has a lot of similarity to the new Elegoo Neptune, which is a strange direction for artillery to have gone in for a couple of reasons. One, the Elegoo Neptune is not a hugely successful machine in its own right, so it's a bit strange to copy it. And two, one of the biggest issues with the Elegoo Neptune that we've had, and we're doing a review on it at the moment, is that the software just isn't that great. Like it's got bugs, it's got flaws, it's got problems. So I'm not really clear as to why you would then sort of copy it for some of the other things. Like that doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like copying your math homework off of the slow kid in the class, which is an interesting choice to make commercially, but hey, I don't work there, so I don't know. Cool, that sounded dropping. Alright. It is an artillery branded board in here, which is interesting. So maybe, I mean, again, we haven't turned this on yet. The only thing I'm sort of bearing in mind or judging it on at the moment is that the way the touch screen goes in and the way the tool head connects looks near enough identical. We've got really good strain relief on this, so I like that. It's just a question as to whether or not I'm going to like everything else. I suppose it's not really any different than when everyone was using MKS screens, right? You know, it's like it's not any different to that. Perhaps it's just sort of an easy to get, easy to integrate screen that they're using. Come on, there we go. Be interesting to see how the cable tidying goes on this, because there really isn't any on the Elegoo and I hate it. Like, it's really annoying. At this point, everyone's trying to tell me, and you know, this is a discussion that goes on in the groups a lot. Everyone keeps saying, "Hey, Cartesians aren't dead, right? They are still, you know, they're still turning out." Drop me spanner. They're still turning out good machines. They're still turning out good prints. A Cartesian and a bed slinger, they can still keep pace with today's modern machine. And then every single time someone brings out a new machine, I am not blown away by its quality, by its ease of use, by how quick it is to make or assemble, or any of that, really. The connector on this, you will have seen on the Elegoo, because I'm telling you now, that feels identical as well. This is, so look, turn this to the camera. This is what we're working with cable management. Just this limp, lifeless thing. Just like, I'm not being funny. You can buy a cable chain. I can buy a cable chain on AliExpress for next to nothing, for like £5. And that's me buying one. That's not a company buying one. That's me. It's just like,
It's just waiting to be dragged across your springs.
it's gonna be a real problem. Like, as you continue to grow, like, it's gonna wind up being an issue, I can tell. But I mean, look, it looks nice. I'm not quite sure why they've gone for like a mock carbon fibre effect on these rods. Like, that does seem like a choice that not necessarily a child, because that sounds hurtful, but like somebody who's sort of just going like, "Oh yeah, this will be real cool," and everyone's like, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't let Brian design stuff anymore, because it seems like he's very much a crayon colouring in person rather than a felt tip pen guy." It's a bit like a little while ago we had a printer in called the Corsiga, and it's a resin printer, and it was designed by someone who just went, "Do you know what we could put on? A lot of lights." And someone went, "Oh, do you know what? I like that." It's just such a strange. Yeah, it seems very much like Brian's being allowed to make a lot of creative choices that he perhaps isn't qualified for.
Scrap the carbon fibre and put a cable chain on.
Yeah, like, that's the choices that have been made here, right? Someone's gone, "Oh yeah, we won't put a cable chain on, but we will put this on." And it's like, yeah, but like, the cable chain would actually be super useful. Like, oh yeah, I'm not challenging that at all. I absolutely agree with you. It would be really useful, but we're still putting the carbon fibre on. Like, just seems like an odd priority to worry about something that is a clear aesthetic choice. See, that's one of the things I actually really loved about the X1s. It was that the X1s were tidy. All right, okay. The flat ribbon cables came with them, their own set of let's call them challenges. like you know, it's Oh, now I had a bolt in my hand then, it's gone away. This is a pickle. Right, so start with this one. All right. No. I say one of the main things I liked about the artillery sidewinder was how clean the cable management was. Now, as I say, all right, the flat ribbon cables came with them their own challenges, I guess, because they would break over time and things like that. But frankly, in the time that I had the X2, I think I only changed the cable once, and it wasn't like it was a super expensive thing to change. Right, brace kit fitted. Let's just put this on. I think we're going to have to tip this over to be able to see it. Yeah. So look, not an overly complicated machine to get together, if I'm honest. Like, I think most new people would probably be all right with that. I don't think anyone would really struggle with it, not properly. Which is good, I guess. Okay. Goes there. We've then got this guy. Two of these. This is really fun. So there's a magnet on the back of this, which obviously holds the screen on. But what it also does is, as you try and put the screw in, it just removes the screw for you. So that's really super helpful. Like, I'm really enjoying that. you have to like get your get your finger all the way in so that you can make sure that it goes where it's supposed to. It's a really nice feature. Brian's had a field day with this one, hasn't he? Right. Okay, so this goes behind, plugs in there. We have the same little Wi-Fi adapter as well. So to be clear, the Wi-Fi is on board, and you just get a little aerial that screws on the side. That is, to be clear, identical to the Elegoo. What I will say is that we have got a single linear rail here, and it is mounted onto a linear rail, whereas the Elegoo has POM wheels. So this is already shaping up to be better mechanically designed. There's also 2 linear rails that are on the bottom here. Once again, the Elegoo is using POM wheels. So, so we are getting somewhere with showing that we are producing a higher quality machine than some of the competitors for a price that's very comparable. So let's just tighten this up because this, there we go, maybe a bit too tight. Cool, right. Bed moves back. We've got the same flat bed cable that you have on the X2. Very solidly on there, tried and tested really. And then the only other thing we need to fit is we should have a bag with 1 more screw in it. And this one is for the this is for the, there we go. Nope, nearly. Okay, well that's trying my patience in a way I didn't quite expect. There we go. And we plug this in. Just like that. So that is a fully built machine. We have a little cable clip for something or other. Right, so I can already tell that I have put that around the wrong way. So let's get this out. It's supposed to go inside of this, otherwise it's going to pull. And plug that back in. It does clip in nice and securely, like it holds it really nicely. Just to be clear, it just also holds it really nicely on the Elegoo as well. So it doesn't seem like it's really any different, but fine. There is 1 more clip just here, and I suspect that this, there we go, is for this one and goes up here. Trying my patience. So I'm guessing that's its attempt at cable tidying, because this is still like, I guess if you like that maybe. Okay. I mean, that's just asking to fall down and end up knocking your prints. Like, okay. I mean, it's on, it's working, like, fine. I challenge it's not the finest of designs. I would like to have seen a drag chain, to be honest. Bearing in mind that they've gone for linear rails and they've gone for everything else that's on this, the clipper and carbon fibre effect rods and all of that stuff. Like, I kind of feel like the £2 that it would have cost to have had some drag chains on this would have been a much bigger impact than the other stuff, but fine. I'm going to pop in their USB stick. It has got a Type C and a Type A on the front, so the Type A is obviously for the USB. We'll give this a minute. So it's a nice touch screen that you can move around with a little bit. So I mean, the cable's not super duper long, but at least it means that if you are standing by the side of the machine or you've got the machine mounted sideways or whatever. Oh, right, it's just doing a self-check, so you can see here. See if we can pull that back into the close-up camera. Ooh, that's a fun little noise. Here we go, so it's now going through a nozzle check. Nozzle's heated up pretty quickly, to be fair. Next step. Please make sure that there are no sundries on the nozzle. Oh, there are some sundries. Now there are no sundries. Next step. Please wait for the platform and nozzle. So, that seems to me that we've done this a bit too tight. And the good news is none of these Allen keys fit. There we go, this one. Okay, 0.1. Much better. I mean, we're saying manual levelling, but what? So now we have to get the levelling paper out, and we're doing this with the old. Yeah, I was worried about that. Right. I'm just going to have to force this over, unfortunately, because it managed to screw itself over. Right. All we're doing is until this has got a light tug on the paper, because we want it to, we're just trying to make sure the bed itself is actually level before it goes and does its thing, before it goes and does its self-level. Okay, Next step, to ensure the accuracy of the model, the system will now automatically level. First, press the Z0 key. Okay. Resetting the Z offset. I can tell you already that the screen that is on this is the same as the Elegoo, but the software that's on it is not the same at all. This is 10,000 times better. So I take back what I said earlier, because it's got similarities with the Elegoo, but this is what the Elegoo should have been. That's genuinely how I'm finding this at the moment. So, first press the Z equals 0. Then we move down. And we move down. Oh, there we go. Up. You can go all the way down to a 0.01 adjustment, and that's pretty good. So that's now saving. It's now going and doing its own PID tune, so that's really good. I want to be clear, none of this on the Elegoo, none of it. Absolutely none of this. So the bed leveling is broken on the Elegoo for the most part. It's got loads of errors that come up and it freezes. It doesn't do a PID tune, and it definitely doesn't do any nozzle calibration stuff or anything like that. So yeah. I'll just wait for this to heat up. I will say that the bed is taking a little bit longer than I would like to heat. Like, it should be an AC heated bed, so it should be pretty quick to heat up. But then it's also a fairly large bed, so yeah. Okay, so let's just take a look and see how we're doing. 38 out of 60, 39. Perhaps once it does its PID values, maybe it'll speed that up a little bit, because that's touch on the painful side on timing. Is it doing a PID tune then? Or is it just going to level the bed? But it's heating the bed to level it. Alright, well, we'll have to wait and see. The reason for the grinding earlier is I had tightened this just a little bit too much. I got a bit ambitious, shall we say, with the with what it was supposed to be doing. So, my fault. We have recently partnered with Jamhe. So Jamhe are doing filament and resin. This is some of their high-speed filament. I did foolishly tell them that colour wasn't important because we paint everything. So you guys are stuck with us doing certainly this part in yellow. So we apologise about that. But cardboard spools, relatively good wines. Get rid of that and get rid of that. is where I find out that I'm going the wrong way. I literally don't know how else you could possibly do that. Okay. But what I mean is like, so what, are we... I'm just wondering whether it's supposed to go in... Yeah, it's meant to go in that way. Which does beg the question how on earth you're supposed to get this in, because there isn't enough. Like... Good Lord. Okay, fine. Right, bed's heated. Right, so it's just going to do in a full bed level. So it was just heating the bed. I'll say it's a little long to heat a bed, if I'm honest, but going along and doing its thing now. It's quite an extensive point check there. So you can see. Good Lord. I mean, that feels a touch aggressive, doesn't it? Like... Oh, God.
This is a 10-minute job.
Oh, it's barely moved back at all. Okay. I mean, come on, man. There's so many pro points. Oh, it's going to take ages. Oh, it barely moved. Oh, God. It's done 26 probe points, and it's maybe an inch up the bed. So there's 12 per... Sorry. Hold on. You're telling me this is doing... No, it's not doing every print. This is just validating the bed. But this has 144 points of check. That's what this is saying. It's done 2 rounds, and it had done 24. It's done 3, and it's now at 34. 36, sorry. So we're saying that this must be a 12 by 12 grid, which means that it's doing 148 probe points. I think we might speed this part up. $76. Ah! Auto leveling saved. Load consumables into the feed hole. Could have come up with a better word for that. And then just press load. None of this UI was on the Elegoo at all. Okay, so what's next? And observe whether it's extruded. Okay, so we just keep loading until it comes out of the nozzle. There we go. That's it, purging all the old white. And we've got yellow right at the end there. So that's good. True, there we go. You can see that extruding nicely there. See if we can't sharpen that up a touch. There we go. So, very easy to see. Next step, please insert the memory card or the USB disk. I've already done this. We can now turn on the lights. Let's see what we've got regarding a model file. Boat. So, just see here. So, you have got an STL, you can see. It's just doing a little wipe. Right, you can just press print. And in theory...
I actually like that UI.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it, it's good. Speed is only at 50 millimeters a second. This is obviously just their model. This is their thing. The claim is that with this being clipper, it will go faster. I haven't seen it do like a resonance compensation or anything like that. So I'd be dubious as about to like how fast you could really go with it. But hey. That bed is not fast to heat. That is not fast to heat. That was only off down at 51, and it's still trying to get up to 60. So I'm going to say that that is no longer an AC heated bed anymore, which is a shame because that was a really good feature. The AC heated bed, the S2, X1 and the X2 did a really good job with those. Guess we're about to find out if it does a full bed level every single time. No, it doesn't. Have I nailed the bed level right out of the box? Because I'm not being funny. That looks suspiciously like I have.
It looks million-point test as well.
Yeah, but like whether I got the Z offset bang on. Goes and does a little wipe. Oh, that is good. Ooh. Do you know what? I'm good. So, that's it printing. It is took us about 40 minutes overall to go from in the box to everything out, all put together. I am going to say that this desk is not fantastically stable and that this printer is throwing my desk around, so that's a little bit concerning right out the gate and will more than likely affect the quality a little bit. But overall, I'm very impressed. I saw some initial design points that really made me go like, oh, is this just an Elegoo rehash? It isn't. It isn't. So they're using the same tool head board as the Neptune 4, and they're using the same screen. The overall design hasn't changed fantastically from other versions. So this is this cable chain is the same as the Neptune 4 as well. But there the similarities really do end. We've got a linear rail on X, dual linear rails on Y. We have carbon fibre effect brace kit. There is a brace kit on the other one. I'd say most of the rest of it is relatively standard stuff, right? It's dual Z motors. They are linked at the top with a synchronization cable. We've got ourselves the making of a really reliable machine here. There is also a little tray for all of your tools or Werther's Originals, depending on whatever you're using. Depends what you do with your tools. I don't know, but overall, nice design, nice printer. This is going through and doing a benchy at the moment. It looks like it's doing a pretty stellar job right out of the gate, but let's let it finish, see what that comes out like, and then we'll close the video. And that is done. And what we're looking at there, I don't know if you can see, because I don't know if this is going to focus properly. Let's see. Oh. Well, you'll have to believe me. It's a 20-minute benchy. That took 20 minutes. So let's take a look at how that bad boy came out. Okay, so fresh off of the printer, and this is what we are working with. This is a 20-minute benchy, and I'll tell you now, I don't hate it. So it is a little hard to see in yellow, I will agree. The Jamhe resin that we are using is a high-speed resin, okay? A high-speed filament, sorry. It is a high-speed filament. So I am just looking here, and I tell you what, there's a tiny little bit of wispiness just on the inside. But I mean, as a 20-minute benchy goes, with settings that came straight off of their, so again, this is a pre-sliced, pre-loaded model. As a starter benchy, that is not bad at all. What I will say, I don't know if you can see, if we get right in there. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Any more? So you can see that they've done only one top layer. So you can see just at the bow there, a little bit of wispiness here, and right at the bow of the ship here, there's a little bit of under extrusion just there. Now again, this is with a different filament. So, as 20-minute benches go, that's not bad. That's with a filament, that's from with Zhang He's high-speed filament, but nothing calibrated yet. So we're going to go into Orca Slicer and we're going to mess about with the settings and we'll do a full review. We'll try and put this through its paces. We'll see how quick we can get a benchy done. As well, just want to bear in mind that this is currently on quite a wobbly table because me and Mike built it, so frankly it's a miracle that it's even standing. And we'll put this on a much more stable platform so that it can go and do all of its thing. Overall, first impressions, I really quite like it. There are a couple of things that I don't like. So I really don't like this wafty bit of cabling just going around there, and it's not an AC heated bed, or if it is, it's a slow heating AC bed. So those two things, little bit annoying. I'm not a massive fan of them. I flipped the spool holder around and that meant that the cable for this wasn't taut anymore, so that was probably just me putting it together wrong, so fine, my fault. But overall, this is a pretty solid addition. If this comes in when it releases at around £400, I think it's a really worthwhile investment. It's a good build volume, it's relatively stable, it's nice and well put together, it's linear rails, it's a good textured bed, like we didn't have any issues with adhesion there. I've not used any glue or anything, so like it comes with a glue stick, but we don't need to use that, so that's good. Relatively easy to put together, brace kit's good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Is it a spiritual successor to the X2? I don't necessarily think that it is, simply because there's not really much about this that makes me go, oh, that's an artillery. When I saw the X1 and I saw the X2, they had a very definitive style that was like, oh, I get it. That's obviously an artillery. They were blue, they had the flat ribbon cables and all of that sort of stuff. There was something about them that made you go, oh, I know what that is. But that being said, still a really nice machine. Does the job really well. The software is 10,000 times better than the stuff we've had with Elegoo. I'm really, really impressed by it. And overall, I'd give this a solid 8 out of 10 on first impressions. But I want to dive into it more, see where we get with benches, see where we get with print quality. So stay tuned to the channel. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video.